we are leaving the New York and New Jersey area. Slept on it weird, or because I had the glasses of wine last night, but I'm leaning towards I slept on it weird. It's in the same spot every single time, like bottom right part of my neck. I must have like a knot or something there. We should get massages soon. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. About how good it was to get a massage.
Yeah, what are they called? Malleophalic releases or
whatever. Huh?
Like your muscles to get knots to like release that. It's like the scientific thing.
It's definitely like, yeah, maybe that's it, but it's definitely from like staring at my computer at my desk all day, like looking down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get the same thing.
I need to start using my standing desk more. Like I literally have the desk and I never stand up with it.
Yeah, your shoulders roll forward, your back muscles like respond to that, so your shoulders affects your neck.
I'm falling apart at 26. Good morning, you guys. What is up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hi, my name's Hannah, and if you're not new, welcome back. Happy Sunday. I decided to start a little day in my life vlog. I don't really know what we're getting up to today. I was originally planning on going shopping because I am just in a big like style rut. I need some new pieces in my closet. I just need to be able to like put together outfits. Once again, I am so tired of wearing the exact same outfit every single weekend. You guys know what I mean. Like every single time I vlog on the weekend, I put on an outfit and I'm like, oh, I wear this every weekend. And it's because I only have one pair of jeans that I truly enjoy like wearing out of the house. So I just like came to the conclusion this week that I need to buy some more pairs of pants specifically, but I'm just in a big style rut. I used to style clothes all the time when I lived in the East Village, and I feel like the first half of when I lived here too, but I think at some point I hit a realization that I needed to stop spending as much money on clothes as I have been spending. And so it went from like buying clothes all the time to never buying clothes. And don't get me wrong, I do buy items like every now and then. Of course, I show the vlogs. I don't do it as nearly as much as I used to, and therefore I feel like I get in a rut with outfits really quickly, and I just haven't been putting an effort into like style or outfits or anything of that sort, and it makes me kind of sad. Like it just makes me feel like gross. So I was gonna go shopping today at the Hudson Yards Mall because it's like one of the indoor malls in New York. Surprisingly, indoor malls do exist in New York. There's quite a few of them actually. And I was gonna do that today, and then I realized that I'm like a week out from Black Friday and it'd be dumb to buy everything at full price this weekend when it's gonna be on sale next weekend, and then there's also Cyber Monday next week. So I should just hold off and stop being impatient. But I did want to go to like Zara and stuff. I don't know, I might still go, we'll see. But that was like my big plan for today, and then I just realized that Black Friday is next week and I should not do that. So here I am now trying to figure out what to do with my day again. We actually have like a very long to-do list for like life, honestly, that we could knock some things off and like sit in the living room and figure out. I feel like I should give a moving update because we've figured out like what we're doing moving wise, and I haven't told the vlog yet because I just have felt like if I say it out loud, something's gonna happen. And I mean, something still could happen, but at this point in time I feel like we're pretty committed to what we're doing unless something changes like with my work. So I guess I can chat about that really quickly because honestly today might consist of like getting our life together to move, because we're about a month out from when we have to pack up our place. It's now November 19th and we move out end of December, which is a very chaotic time to move out. Might as well just say it, I guess. I don't know like what I'm waiting for. I guess we haven't really even like done anything for this plan yet, but I'm just gonna like full send and commit to announcing it on the internet, I guess. We are leaving the New York and New Jersey area. With that being said, there are a lot of things going into this plan. So as you guys know, my job is pretty much completely remote. John's job is 100% remote. Like his company is, everyone in his company is remote. My job, not everyone in my company is remote, but my team specifically is fully remote unless you reach a certain level, and then you have to go in 3 days a week. I am nowhere near that level. I have not reached that level at all, so I don't have to go in at all. I do occasionally go in, you guys know that, like when we have team happy hours or team meetings, or there's like a requirement for a project, I will occasionally go in, but that's like once or twice a year, if even that. Definitely once a year because we have a team offsite once a year, but the 2-3 times a year is like questionable. It just really depends. So with the whole thing being said of the fact that I'm remote, I did get permission from like my leadership to leave the New York area temporarily. This is not like a permanent thing yet, or may never be in the future, so there is like a very good chance that we end up back in New York maybe in the springtime, summer, next fall. We really haven't figured out when we'll be back in New York, but for the time being, I guess it's an I situation because his role is like not dependent on this situation, but I got permission to be remote outside of the New York area. So we are moving back to Virginia temporarily to hang out and like save some money and just vibe for a little bit. We have some really fun plans in regards to skiing this winter and trips coming up and things of that sort, and we just wanted to use the opportunity to like leave this area while we have it. We don't at this point in time really know if like we most likely will be back in New York because like I said, this is a temporary situation with my job unless they allow it to be a permanent situation, which that's all up in the air as well. But at this point in time, when we come back in New York, I think we'll be back for like, I don't know, like a couple to a few more years, which is longer than I ever thought that I would stay in New York City. But I think that because we'll be back, we wanted to take some space from the city. End of December, we are putting everything that we own in storage except for the stuff that we want like to keep on a day-to-day basis, and we are moving to Virginia, and then from there I think that we are going to just like see where life takes us, to be completely honest. We may stay in Virginia the entire time, we may bop around, who knows, but that's kind of the situation as of right now. Like we're leaving the New York area, which sounds really weird to say. I don't think I've fully said, like announced that we're leaving New York yet to like really anyone. Anytime any of my friends ask me what we're doing, I'm just like, I don't know, we haven't decided yet, because there were so many options going into this decision. We debated just fully committing and re-signing a lease somewhere in the area. We were going to sign a lease in either Brooklyn or Hoboken. Jersey City's out of the picture, I think I mentioned that. Also, I posted a Jersey City apartments tour video, which I mentioned that we're not staying in the Jersey City area in that video also, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But we were highly debating either the Hoboken or Brooklyn area. There was just no apartments that like really felt right, to be honest, on Street Easy, and the more I stared at apartments on Street Easy, the more stressed out I got, because you really can't plan ahead when you move in New York. You know what apartment you're gonna live in next only like a week or two before you move, and that's just the way the Street Easy postings go. I don't know why real estate is like that in New York. I would say though that that's only for like the Street Easy listings in the New York area and New Jersey Hoboken area. If you're living in like a luxury building like this, or a luxury building in Brooklyn or anywhere really, they do have openings like 2 to 3 months in advance. But if you're going for like the Street Easy, like brownstone, cheaper type apartments, you only know where you're gonna live like a week before, and that personally like really stresses me out. That is one of my biggest issues with living in this area, is that nothing can ever be planned ahead of time. You really just have to go with the flow. So that was an option. Another option was just gonna be to leave New York for like a month, go spend the holidays with our family, then come back and figure it out. And then I think we realized that like if we're going for a month, we might as well just like extend it and come back when we feel ready to come back, or like when my work calls me back, and the whole 9 yards. So that is kind of the plan. I feel like I did such a bad job of explaining that, but I feel like there was no good way to explain it. I didn't want to come into the video with like bullet points of what we were planning to do. I feel like it just needed to be, I don't know, like a conversation. So I hope you guys are ready for like some different content coming up, non-New York City content, Virginia content, travel content, ski content. We're doing a lot of skiing this winter, I think. Actually, oh, maybe that's what we could do today. Should we go to REI? I just wanted to see the brands of skis and try them on. I didn't necessarily want to buy things today. So yeah, we're lots of skiing, lots of traveling, lots of other vlogs. We will see where life takes us in this new chapter. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
I feel like the last clip cut pretty abruptly because my memory card filled up actually, and I keep forgetting to format it, so I just have to keep going back in and deleting old clips from old vlogs. Just to wrap up that conversation, that's kind of the plan for moving as of right now, and I'm excited to take you guys along with me. I do want to go to REI. I think I like kind of jumped to that in the last clip too. My brain went from 0 to 100 so quick, and I think we're gonna go a little bit later, or at least I'm gonna go a little bit later. I have written down a bunch of brands that I want to try out for skis. I have a pair of skis actually, in addition to a snowboard, but my skis are really old. They're from when I was middle school, freshman in high school, and I haven't used them in years. And because skis are based on like your weight and height, I've definitely grown since I was that age, and I just need a new pair of skis anyways because they're getting kind of old. So I'm investing in an entire new ski set this year, poles, boots, like the actual skis themselves and everything. And I've never bought a pair of skis for myself before, and it's a big investment and they're very expensive, so I don't even know like what to look for or what I even like. But I wrote down a few brands, and the REI in Soho has the brands in stock according to their website. So I just want to go and try on some boots and stare at some of the ski brands, I guess, and like feel them out and kind of get expert opinions on those, because I feel like they have snow experts in REI. I could be wrong, but we're gonna find out. That's not until a little bit later. I just ate a bagel for like brunch. It's now 12 o'clock. And before I go, I wanted to do a physical book haul with you guys because I have so many physical books that I've bought over the past month or so, and I keep meaning to do this in every vlog and I keep forgetting, so doing it now. I also was gonna wait until I got the physical copy of Iron Flame, but unfortunately I was one of the people that Amazon did in fact screw over. I pre-ordered it back in August for the special edition, and they just never delivered it to my apartment. And then when I contacted customer support, they gave me a new delivery date, and then they never delivered it the second time. So eventually I just contacted customer support and completely canceled my order, because at this point in time I'm not gonna get the special edition like I wanted. It would just be the regular edition, and I actually ended up getting it on Libby because I put a hold on Libby like when the book came out. And yeah, I'm not the only one though that got screwed over by the Iron Flame release. I saw a ton of TikToks about so many different things that went wrong with that release, but specifically for Amazon, a ton of people pre-ordered the special edition like even before me, like back in June, and never received their book. So I know I'm not the only one, but it does still kind of suck because I do now have the special edition of Fourth Wing up there, and I thought that the Iron Flame would look really good next to it, but now I don't own Iron Flame. So hopefully they'll do another drop of the special editions and I can get that one on my hands, but for now I just have Fourth Wing. Anyways, that was a long rant. I was just saying like basically why I held off on doing the book haul for so long, but now I actually want to share the books that I have with you guys, the books that I recently purchased, because I am no longer waiting for that book. And now my camera's gonna die, so let me change the battery. I have so many books to share with you guys. Oh my god, they're so heavy. So let's start from the book that I'm currently reading. I actually started this like a week or two ago, and then I put it on pause when I got the Iron Flame Libby hold because I was just so excited to read that book. But the first book is Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Marer, and it's really cool. It has like red sprayed edges. It's from the same publishing company that published Iron Flame. It's called Red Tower Books. I feel like they're kind of taking over TikTok and like the fantasy world right now, because all of their books, or at least the first edition of books, get released with either sprayed edges or like stenciled edges, and they're really, really cool. This book, specifically the author, actually came up with this book idea from a TikTok series that she was originally doing called Assistant to the Villain. She would do these like skits where she would act out how she thought an assistant to a villain would act, if that makes any sense, and people ate it up, and so she wrote a whole book about it. I'm only on page 76, but so far it's pretty funny and like very lighthearted in a way, as lighthearted as a fantasy book can be, and it seems to be like a pretty fast and easy read. I need to dive back into this book this week so that I don't end up like accidentally DNFing it, but I did get distracted by Iron Flame while reading this book, so I'm excited to get back to it eventually. Next book is Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. This is the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe with the POV of Daisy Hates. The first book was the POV of Magnolia Parks. Obviously, I really feel like I don't need to read the description of this book because you shouldn't read this book without reading Magnolia Parks anyways, but the Magnolia Parks universe is a modern day Gossip Girl, but like based in London. That's how it was explained to me, and after reading the first book, that's how I would explain it to other people. So just read it. Also know that going into those books, it is a very, very toxic universe in my opinion, but if you like that kind of stuff, then you'll eat it up. Something about her writing too is just really, really good and very addicting. Like, it's not necessarily the storyline that you stay for. I feel like you stay for Jessa Hastings' writing. Next book is When in Rome by Sarah Adams. This was another popular TikTok book probably like months and months ago. It's about a superstar that just decides that she doesn't want to be a superstar anymore, or maybe a pop star is the better word for it. And therefore she ends up going on vacation to Rome, Kentucky, which is like a very, very small town in Kentucky where nobody knows her and things of that sort. And I think she ends up meeting a guy, but it's apparently a really cute and easy rom-com. It's only 305 pages, so that's fairly short. I mean, you can tell the book is pretty thin, but I've heard a lot of good things about this and I want to read this one. And then there's also a companion novel to this one based on her sister, I think. So once I read this one, I definitely want to buy the companion novel, pending that I actually like the writing of this. Next book is Finding London by Ellie Wade. This is a book that I actually got in a blind date with a book package. I fell victim to the blind date with the books on TikTok. I got like a $25 credit or something like that from TikTok, and therefore the book itself was like 99 cents after that $25 credit. I'll put pictures of what the blind date with the book originally looked like before I unpackaged it. But this is about, I don't know, it's a romance book that takes place in London. I think it's dark romance, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, the back doesn't give me much info as to what this book is actually about, but it is a series, so if I like this book, I'll also be continuing. I do think the cover is like really pretty. I mean, look how stunning. It's kind of like watercolory. Pretty sure this is the London like skyline or whatever you want to call it. Next book is Shadow and Bones by Leigh Bardugo. I've heard really good things about this book too. I think this is a young adult fantasy, so definitely an easier fantasy book if you're looking to dive into the fantasy world. I do kind of think that I'm not supposed to read this series first. Leigh Bardugo has another series that's in the same universe, I think, that's supposed to come before this one, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe this is the first one and then the next, I don't know, something of the sort. But I got this a long time ago, and I might have shared this in another haul, but it's just part of the TBR collection that I have yet to read. It's also a Netflix original series, so I'm really excited to read it. Next one is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I actually think this is a series that I'm not supposed to read first. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to read the Caraval series before reading Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I've heard that you can read them as standalones because it's not like you have the same characters, they're all just in the same universe or something of the sort. I've heard mixed reviews, but I couldn't resist getting this book. I think it was on sale on Amazon when I picked it up, and I just think the binding is so pretty, and also I've just heard that everyone that has read this book has absolutely loved it. I'm pretty sure it's like a 3 or 4 part series. I'm pretty sure it's 3, and then Caraval, however you want to say it, is also 3. I fell victim to the cover mainly, to be honest, and I'm excited to read it. Next book, which I already know that people are going to be in the comments like, oh my god, good luck, is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. How do you say her name? I want to look it up so I'm not pronouncing it wrong. Hanya Yanagihara. Hania is how you say her first name. I've heard so many things about this book on YouTube, Book Talk, the whole 9 yards, and the one thing that I've heard that's consistent with this book is that it absolutely wrecks you. I have seen people like sobbing over this book on TikTok, and therefore I'm slightly terrified to read it, but I also kind of just want to see like what the hype is about in a way. It has great floppiness. But it was like another book that was part of a sale. Amazon runs sales occasionally that's like buy 2 books, get one 50% off, or buy 2 books, get one free. And it's on select books. And all the books that have been on my TBR for a long time just happened to be on this list when I was in the market for books. So this was part of that sale, and I am excited, scared, terrified, intrigued, all of the things. But I will be reading this book at one point. Also, it got literally so dark in here all of a sudden. Let me see if I can change that. It's because the sun is going behind the building that's right in front of the office. So I'm gonna wrap this book all up. But the last book that I have is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I'm pretty sure this is a sci-fi book, and the description of this book just also really intrigued me. That and the fact that I've heard good things about it, and it's like a shorter sci-fi book. I've attempted to read sci-fi before and haven't been the biggest fan of it, to be completely honest. I read this one book, and if I can remember the name, I'll pop it up on the screen, but it is set to be a movie eventually, and I think it's won a ton of prizes, and people love it, and like it's often raved about, but I just didn't like it. And I think I just didn't like it because I'm not like a big science person or sci-fi person. It took place in space with like aliens, and I don't really know, I just like wasn't super into it. But something about this book intrigued me, and I think it's because the back of it there's like quotes, and it says reminiscent of the Hunger Games and Game of Thrones, and I loved the Hunger Games. And that's it for all of the books that I have on my physical TBR list. I actually have 2 more, but I've already showed those before. So these are like my newer books that are on my TBR list, and I'm very excited to read them. Hopefully I can read them all before we move, because I'm gonna put a lot of my books in storage, if not all of my books in storage, and I just don't want to be carrying around physical books because honestly they're pretty heavy. So I'm gonna try to get through at least half of these before we move and just go from there. But I don't know how I'm supposed to put all of this in like a storage box and carry it and move it and everything. Honestly, it sounds daunting. This whole moving thing sounds daunting to me, but you gotta do what you gotta do. We were gonna have to move eventually, so whether we're moving to a new apartment or putting our stuff in storage, it was gonna be a lot of work anyways. I just am not really looking forward to it. Hello you guys, it's been a minute since I picked up the camera. I'm clearly back. I just took a shower and washed my hair and everything like that. I just wanted to feel like nice and fresh for Monday. I had a lovely few hours out in the city. It was nice to just walk around. Honestly, it wasn't like too cold outside today, although it was a little bit windy, which is not fun, but temperature wise it wasn't freezing. I went to Goods for the Study off of 9th Street, which is a branch of McNally Jackson. It's specifically for like notebooks and pens and stuff like that. I have this notebook that I've been writing in for work to do stuff, and I feel like it's gonna fill up soon, and I just wanted to get a few more before we moved, but I didn't see any that I liked, so I walked out there empty-handed. Then I walked all the way down to REI and found ski boots. I was gonna show you guys like me trying them on and everything like that, but it was actually a very like one-on-one process. They have an expert ski person in the snow section, and the person that helped me was a previous ski racer. I think that's like the proper terminology. So he was really helpful when it came to picking out like which ski boots that I wanted and which skis to go with. Like he knew all the dimensions. He gave me advice for what skis I would want, bindings, buying used skis and everything of that sort. So I did end up purchasing ski boots. I'm buying those new. I think I'm gonna buy my skis used, just because used skis are fine as long as they're only like a couple years old. And he said that as long as they've only been drilled into once in regards to bindings, he said if they've been drilled into 2 or 3 times for bindings, you can't drill into them anymore, because you can only put new bindings on skis 3 times or something like that. It's kind of stuff that like goes straight over my head, but I was really glad that he was there to help me. So I got that figured out. I just need to pull the trigger on the skis. I don't know like when I want to buy them. I'm kind of avoiding it because they're a little bit pricey. The ski boots I was actually able to purchase because I had a gift card to REI, so I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket, which was really nice. The skis themselves and the poles I'm gonna have to pay out of pocket, which I don't really mind doing because I feel like it's an investment at the end of the day, but I just haven't pulled the trigger on that. But I know which ones I want, I think, and I just need to purchase eventually. And then after that, I did bop around to a few stores in Soho. I went to Abercrombie. I just wanted to see what the Abercrombie looked like in Soho. If you guys didn't know, that's a new store. Previously, we only had one on 5th Ave, which was a pain in the butt to get to. I just opened up the one in Soho up like a couple of months ago. I don't think it's been that long. And it was really nice. I feel like they had stuff in there that I hadn't seen online or in any of the other stores. I don't know if they like put out a new collection or if this store is just selling like exclusive things. I have no clue. Then I went to Dolce Vita after because I want to buy a pair of knee-high black boots. I'm very late into the season, I know, but I think I talked this morning about how I'm just in a weird funk with my style and I really want to get out of it because honestly dressing good just makes me feel good, and I don't feel like myself when I'm wearing clothes that I just don't love or like outfits that I don't love. And so I want to start investing in my style again, meaning that I need to get a few new pairs of shoes and jeans and other clothing items, and I really want to get a pair of knee-high boots. I want to get knee-high boots that I can walk in and that are comfortable, which is why I'm looking at Dolce Vita, even though they're a little bit pricier, because I feel like at the end of the day, if I invest in a good pair of boots, I'll want to wear them more and they'll make me feel better. I was going to go with Steve Madden, which would be the cheaper option, but to be completely honest, I like a lot of my Steve Madden shoes in regards to the way they look, but I feel like a lot of my Steve Madden shoes are not the most comfortable things I've ever put on my feet. Like a lot of my heels I can only wear for like an hour or two at a time, and I just have a feeling that if I were to buy like tall boots from them, I would only be able to wear them for an hour or two at a time. But I've heard that Dolce Vita boots are such good quality that you can wear them for a long duration of time. So I tried on a few boots there, and then I'll probably end up like purchasing on Black Friday or Cyber Monday just to see if they go on sale, but if they don't, I'll probably still end up investing just because I do really want to add those to my shoe collection, and I think that I'll wear them multiple times this winter. So I did that, and then I came back home. We ate dinner. I have just been kind of like hanging out, brainstorming Christmas gifts for family members, and took a shower. And that is pretty much all that you've missed. It's 6:51 now, so it's a little bit later on in the evening. I'm probably gonna brush my hair out, wash my face, and maybe crawl into bed and like watch a TV show or read or something for a little bit. I just feel the need to like sit down and lay down and hang out. I love being out and about on the weekends, and especially on Sundays, because as you guys know, like Sundays are some of my favorite days in New York. I don't know why, there's just something in the air on Sundays in Manhattan. I don't know how to explain it, but if you know, you know. But because I like to be out and about on Sundays, I feel like I don't get the day of relaxation before work that I need, so it'll be kind of nice to at least have like a few hours to sit on the couch and do nothing, or lay in bed and do nothing, things of that sort. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I'm also decided that I'm going to bring this vlog into tomorrow because I'm pretty sure this is like extremely short at this point, because I didn't do as much today as I'd hoped, or I like didn't vlog as much today as I'd hoped. I really wanted to do like the whole ski try-on process with you guys, but to be honest, the one-on-one ski fitting was just something that I wasn't expecting, and also that store was so busy. Like the checkout line was wrapped around the store completely. I don't know what was going on with REI today, or if it's normally like that, but it was tourist central with so many people in there, so I wouldn't have even probably felt comfortable to vlog even if it wasn't like a one-on-one ski boot trying on situation.